Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the September 13th, 2023 Stoughton Redevelopment Authority meeting. This meeting is being held in hybrid fashion, both at 7 Pearl Street in Stoughton and online through Google Meets. This meeting is being recorded by both us and Smack Television, and a recording of the meeting, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceeding will be posted on the town's website, Facebook, and Smack as soon as possible after the meeting. Times for this meeting are approximate, and items may be taken out of order at the chair's discretion. It is 6:24, and at this point, I would ask for a motion to open the meeting.
Okay.
Second, thank you. We're going to be doing things by roll call tonight, where we're hybrid. Roberta?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Everybody would be kind enough, if they can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. I just have, anybody from the public wish to make a comment at this time? We have a public comment section. Yeah. Hearing nothing. Chairman's comments, I just have two things. The chairman of the finance committee lost his mother on an opium this past week, about a week and a half ago now. And one of the members of the Community Preservation Committee, Laurice Rubel, lost her brother. I would like to take a brief moment of silence in respect to those folks who were all active members of Stoughton. Thank you. Members' comments?
I'll hold.
All set. Anything from administrative comments, Don?
The only thing that I would say is that we had some 4 shelves over at the Hanson School. We got rid of the hardware that went with it. We picked everything up. I did put those 4 shelves out of my trash because we don't need them, and now it's time to get rid of them. So.
Understood. Thank you for that. I am going to use the chair's authority to take an item out of order if the authority is fine with that. I'd like to take item number 7, which is the major modification to the SW 36 out of order, please. Are you folks okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay, so with us tonight, we have Steve Olson from, is it H2O Engineering? Steve?
H2 Olson Engineering.
H2 Olson, that's correct. And you're always close. If you'd be kind enough to give a brief synopsis of what's going on, Steve, to the members.
Yes. So I'm a consulting engineer working for the water department of Stoughton, and they're interested in creating a water main loop for their water distribution system from Page Street connecting to the water main that's on site on the property of the recycling facility. The loop would consist of about 200 feet of new 8-inch ductile iron pipe. It would improve the pressures, the flows, and the water quality in the area for everybody, both on the facility and that whole area. It would also improve the resiliency and redundancy of the water system in the event of a water main break in the future. So we approached the Department of Environmental Protection about a year ago, had meetings with their solid waste division, their water division. They instructed us to go out and do some test pits just to ensure we identified the limits and extents of the landfill liner. We were out there last November of 2022. We identified where the liner is, also the depth of the liner, and then proceeded with the design of draft plans. So if you're familiar with the site, you have the entrance, you come up and you have some Jersey barriers on the right. The first hydrant you get to on the right before you can take a right and go around the building, that's where we're going to connect. So we're going to connect from there down the access road to Page Street. The town water department is proposing to do the work with their town forces. They've purchased the water main and materials. They understand where the liner is. We're going to have a health and safety plan. And DEP has advised us to post a sign after construction to identify, if there's any issues, any maintenance issues in the future, that everyone knows there's a potential for landfill gases if and when they have to excavate. So all work, if approved, all work will be done above the liner. So there won't be any penetration of the liner. Since the liner is shallow where they're connecting, it's about 38 inches below the surface. We'll be insulating the water main until the water main gets deeper, about 45 feet, and that's about 50 feet down the access road. So we've been instructed that to get a solid waste permit, since it's post-closure permit, which we began the permit process. It's an online process, and that permit needs to be we need a representative of the owner to basically file that permit. So we need the SRA's approval for that. So that's why I'm at the meeting. So I can share my screen if you wish and show you the plans, but that's basically a synopsis of the project.
So we had sent the plans out to everybody. Do you have any, Steve, to show the plans on the screen at this time? Okay. Steve, we also have wind waste representatives with us who are our subtenant, and those folks would be most impacted by this. I do want the public to be aware that this had come before the Redevelopment Authority in, Steve, am I right, 2019, 2018? I believe it was 2019, correct?
2019, yes.
Yeah. And it was approved at that point in time. I felt where we have few subtenants and realistically almost all new members, that it deserved to come here to answer any questions that anybody might have. So I'm going to start with the board. Paul, do you have any questions at this time on this project?
No, not at this time.
I'm good.
Roberta, you're good? Steve, I'd like to give Wind Waste an opportunity to ask any questions after myself. My only thoughts were, we've had a couple of experiences with the liner on this property. The liner moves quite a bit. So I would recommend that you take extreme care as you're excavating to put the new pipe in.
Yeah.
As on two separate occasions, other contractors have damaged the liner and had to repair it. It's just a pain in the rear end,
Yeah.
Neither of those folks thought the liner was where it was. They all expected it to be higher or lower rather than it deeper than it was. So they were both unexpected intrusions into the liner. So I just caution you, you're not the first. Hopefully you'll be the first that doesn't puncture it under my tenure. But the only other thing I had a thought about is, are you going to have the ability to support the pipe properly as it crosses the street and or the drive? Because there's some heavy equipment that comes in and out of there, and I just want to make sure that we're not going to be inadvertently crushing anything.
Yes. So the question about supporting the pipe. So as the proposed water main goes down towards Page Street from the access road, we've identified where the liner ends. We did 9 or 10 test bits. We've identified where it ends. At that point, the water main depth will be 5 feet below grade. So 5 feet below grade is fine for H20 traffic, which, is the kind of traffic that'll be going back and forth on the access road. And it will be ductile iron water main. So very, very sturdy pipe.
Okay. With that said, I want to give Wind Waste's representatives, if you'd be kind enough to identify yourself for the meeting. If you have any questions?
I do have a question. This
Please.
With this project, are we looking at a daytime project or a nighttime project? And what type of timeline or longevity is it take to run this line? And
Yeah.
is it going to be done during the daytime hours or can it be done at nighttime?
Yep. So we're aware how busy the facility is. When we were doing the test bits, there was a lot of traffic, line. So I spoke to the water department about that. They have volunteered to do the work off hours or non-business hours, so weekends and or evenings. So most of the water main will be installed to the side of the asphalt by the Jersey barriers, but they will need to cross the access road, and that would certainly be off hours to make sure that the access road would be reopened for business, the next business day. So site restoration, I know you didn't ask this, but site restoration will be loam and seed where there's no asphalt, and then asphalt where there's existing paving. So we would match the existing depth of paving, whether it's 3 inches or 4 inches or whatever. So yeah.
Brad, does that answer your question, Seth?
That does. I appreciate it.
Do you have any other questions?
So that's the question I had.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you asked about longevity. So it's about 200 feet of pipe. So, if all goes well, it could be done within a week. They're going to obviously go very slowly at first where the liner is. But after they get out of that zone, they could easily install 50 to 100 feet a day, depending on conditions. So, especially if there's nobody else in the way. So I would say, and so if they're working every day, let's say it's a week, but if it's, if it's nights, they might have a night crew, so there might be every other day. So it could take up to 2 weeks.
and
And ideally, they'd like to do it, this fall, beginning in October. They have to get the permit. So October, November timeframe would be the target.
so my only request from you, Steve, is that you notify us as to the work dates. So we can probably notify our subtenant. And do you know which side you're going to be starting on? Are you planning to start on the street side, or are you starting at the hydrant side?
They'll probably start at the hydrant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have no problem with us or Wind Waste having a representative available to monitor at least the beginning of it, so we all know what has to happen?
Not at all.
Great. So you need some paperwork from us, is that correct, Steve?
So yes, part of the permit process, there are several questions. So I'm looking for assistance to get answers to those questions. I believe I've emailed them to you. There might be a need for a representative to get on the permit website and identify us as an agent so that we can submit the permit on your behalf. So that might be the case. If that is the case, I'll let you all know.
Please do. I know you've sent me the info. I think I forwarded it to Donna, but we're going to work through Donna, our program administrator.
Okay.
Sure that we get all that information together, and we'll coordinate with Wind Waste for the questions on their end.
Very
Other
good.
than that, we're good to go. Do you feel the need to take a vote on this? We have already voted it as an authority, but neither of you were here as members, so
I think we should take it up.
So I would like a motion to accept the work being proposed as presented and authorize the chair to fill out the paper. Any other questions?
No, but I do want to say something. I do have a child, who does work in Stoughton. Same Stoughton on doing this. I don't know if he will be doing it, but I'm not voting on this because my son works on the farm. I just want to get that out there.
So how would you have a conflict? I mean,
I have no idea because maybe he's gets put on the crew when he makes overtime. And if I didn't vote for it, he wouldn't get the overtime. That's the only thing I'm thinking. And I would rather put it out there to let them know that I have a child that works in the home.
Okay.
That's all.
That's, so you're going to abstain. Am I correct in
I
the
don't
vote?
think I need to abstain.
Are you going to vote? You're just
I'm gonna vote,
putting it
yes,
out.
I'm putting it out.
Wonderful. Just wanted to be clear
Yeah.
on how this is going.
Yep.
So thank you for putting that out there.
I didn't know I was gonna have to do that until he said it was gonna be the
No,
Stoughton.
it's what you did. I'm glad you were quick on your feet. Donna, look into whether or not she'll need to file a disclosure form. I don't think
I
so,
don't think
but
so. No, I'm just
we'll
putting
cross
it
our
out
T's and
there.
dot our I's, just to be sure. So any other comments before we take a vote? By roll call, Roberta?
Yes,
Big comment, Matt Hughes, Director of Environmental Compliance. So I just want to just thank you for bringing us into the process here and letting us hear what the work's going to be and an opportunity to comment on it. So I think it's a, further example of our positive working relationship that we have, and thanks for the invite.
You're welcome, Matt. Thanks for being here.
Yep.
So we're gonna get back to it. You were yes, Roberta, Bob,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Thank you. Thank you, Brad, for being with us tonight. Thank you, Matt. And thank you, Steve, for coming again and presenting to us, and understanding our situation. So I'll work with Donna this week to prepare the paperwork for you and get that right over to you, and we'll go from there.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Thank you so much.
Have a great
took you longer
night.
to get here and leave.
Back to our, normal swing of things here. Item 4 is the routine matters. Just want to make a brief comment on this. In the future, I am going to set a consent agenda up with Donna's help so that this can go a little smoother, a little more quickly. Obviously, not everything in routine matters can consent, but the only difference as members is we're going to need to review the consent. We can pull anything we have a question about. Otherwise, we'll be voting it as a whole package, and this will be primarily for paid, unpaid bills, debt purchases, things like that. Our financial will still have a separate. And I can even include correspondence if you've got any input you think might be smart to put into that consent. That is a regular thing we do every month. Please feel free to let us know. Minutes of the previous meeting. Do I have a motion to, this is for minutes for August
I'll
9th.
make a motion to accept the August 9, 2023 development meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? By roll call. Roberta,
Yes,
Bob,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. We have a second set of minutes from August 14th. Open session. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
so many, that was the.
It's just a quick meeting, primarily set to enter into executive session for approving the open session. Did you second?
Second, yes.
Any discussion or change? Hearing none, Roberta,
Yes,
Bob,
Yes.
chair votes yes. Donna? Do we have executive session minutes that have to be approved but not released at this time?
We do, that's further down the agenda.
Oh, thank you. No, I'll wait for that then. Summary of unpaid bills came in the packet, rent coming in, rent going out, incidentals, unpaid bills, which, Donna has an invoice, item number 67, in the amount of $437.75. Do I have a motion to pay Donna's administrator invoice? 67.
I'll make a motion to.
You trying to get him to make one? Shake it up a little bit.
No, you're doing good.
We're gonna re-second it.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing nothing, Roberta?
Yes,
Bob?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. Sign that at the end of the meeting, Donna. Thank
Can
you.
I mention one thing really quickly?
Please.
The rent that came in for this month, was $3,824.58. We normally get, 3,000,
900 and
yeah, and 15 cents. What happened was last month, they overpaid us and they realized it and now they deducted it from this month.
so we have a clarification as to what the discrepancy was.
Right.
Thank you.
we thought we'd get to 10.
Yeah, I know.
All right. We got through payment of bills and meeting minutes, finance review. So just briefly, did hear from Reginald Nunnally, our treasurer today. Looks like he's going to be back online. He's had some personal issues. I had asked Bob to do his best to fill the gap for the moment. So we're gonna see how Bob did.
I stopped in there today. They were able to print out, two different, the transaction and the history of both. I had those, probably scan those and upload those. She did give me a business card with the 1-800 number, and this possibility. I don't know how Reggie does it now, whether he has like a username and a password and logs in, but they do have e-statements. And yeah, I'm thinking I might get a username and password. I'll probably discuss it with them and as a backup or something to that effect. And that way, if I ever need to log in or get any information, I can certainly do it.
So we are set up to receive e-statements, which is the good news. Bad news is only Reggie.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea to have it as backup. Donna's unable to do this as she's not a user on the account, so I would appreciate if you would follow that up.
Moving forward, no, not this month,
Mhm.
but what, if and when we have to go to payment of the rent.
Yes,
Just plug in and see it's the first of the month and pay.
it should be a
Nobody has to
fairly
call them
straightforward.
or go down to the bank, we can say, okay, they paid us.
Well, my bigger concern was actually because I haven't had access to the statements that there could be charges on the debit
Right.
card, but I don't know about
Right.
it, and I brought it to Mark's attention.
Right. And Bob was great about going down for me. Thank you, Bob.
No problem.
So you'll give those to Donna and she'll get that ready. We'll be able to get a much better understanding, but do you have an ending balance as of the end of the month or today or whatever they gave you?
Looks like, let me say that out loud. 7/3 is 8/15. So I would say ending balance, I think, if I'm reading this correctly, as of 9/12 today is 54,178.
Excellent. Which lines up, I had a balance on August 30th of $54,904.08.
Yeah,
As I say, we want to give Reggie an opportunity to get back into the fold, but he may be a little,
Yeah.
may take him a little bit. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate all of us sort of stepping up and helping. To the public, we will have a much more thorough breakdown of our finances as of our October meeting, and we appreciate your patience with that. Correspondence. We received a notice from GoDaddy, who is our domain carriers. Our domain is set up an auto renew annual program. That is in our packet. The domain renewal cost is $22.99, and the full domain protection renewal is $9.99. So unless anybody opposes that, that is coming out during this month. We also received a notice from National Grid that some personal information from many of their people was hacked. I just wanted to get a sense from the committee. I have not seen anything that's been a problem with the accounts. I did speak briefly with the bank, and they have not seen anything. If the bank alerts me as chair that there's some sort of unusual activity on the account, I just wanted to be known that I'm going to go down and change the passwords, which will create some problems, but at the same time, better to be safe
I
than
think
sorry.
we all got it.
Yeah, and I just wanted you to know it's being
Yeah.
monitored,
Yeah.
so. Action item list, Donna, do you want to go through your regularly scheduled things? We're all good, right?
Yeah, they're my usual ones, posting the videos, and minutes, at town hall, typing, the minutes, paying the utility bills. The only one I didn't do, because I wanted to ask, was, to reach out to BSC regarding posting new material to the SRA, website domain. I didn't know if that was on hold or not.
No, I think it's okay for you to go ahead and do that, and give us an update in October as to how that went. If you need some help with it, let me, happy to help too. I think we should all have a perfunctory understanding of that.
Okay, I'll find out if there's any charge for the training first.
Yeah, see what you can find out and let us know. Or let us know earlier if you have that.
Okay.
Did the,
Can I just ask one
Please.
question? You know how you were scanning all those old documents?
Yes,
Are you done?
yes,
Okay.
there are gaps, because there are missing minutes. but
Okay, so
yes,
you did everything that we have.
I did.
Okay, because I know every month you were doing like, and I don't see it on.
no,
You may
because you
not-
finished it.
You could have stopped it 4 months ago. I just noticed. So that wasn't on.
There
Okay,
may
that's
be,
good.
we still have some back documents
Mm-hmm.
that may require some more scanning. Run to that stuff now, so that's a
Okay.
good thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, that's good.
were you able to, get a list of the town meeting representatives?
Yes, I did send it out.
Thank you. I thought you did, but
Yeah.
gonna,
The issue with, scanning the documents, on the town website, the minutes, is that you need to have an agenda to attach the minutes to.
Oh,
And back in the 1960s, we don't have copies of the agenda,
Right.
so they had to actually do it on another section of the website, but they are there if you actually, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
So,
thank you for that. So I'm gonna be honest, I had a cover letter I said I'd put together, but I have no clue what it was about. What is the cover letter for? Was this for businesses as part of the packet we're thinking of sending out? If that's the case, I didn't do it clearly, so, I will work on that for October, I just noticed it. So, quickly, the CPC update, which is also an item here. CPC is holding its, annual public hearing on October the 4th. Nope. Sorry, yeah, October the 4th. Each of the authorities, committees, representatives are asked to put together a brief synopsis of their interaction with CPC for the year. Redevelopment Authority doesn't generally bring anything forward to the CPC. However, I wanted this authority to be able to think about, is there anything you'd like to see an application put forward to the CPC for? I know in the past, prior members have talked about rebuilding the clock tower at the train station. I think it's a great idea. I don't know that we have to do it this year, but again, wanted to put that out to you. We could certainly put an application together if you wanted. It doesn't cost the redevelopment any money, but it does cost the town money. However, it's a town-owned building. And as part of our redevelopment, we can provide infrastructure help. To me, this was a thought. I know we're focused on the train station, but wanted to get your opinions on it.
what did you say that clock was gonna cost?
Back then, it was about $26,000
Right.
to have it rebuilt. I would like to look at different options. There might be, so we were having it restored, meaning the old system would do it. We still need somebody to wind it. We might be able to have a less taxing way of doing it, perhaps a digital version. The clock face would stay the same, but the mechanism would be up to date. I'd want to check with the Historical Society and Commission before I did that, but if there's an interest, I'd be happy to take the lead and kind of walk that through the process. If there isn't, I'm okay with that too. Just wanted to get your feelings. Or if you,
All right, well, did you order the lights? No. Okay, so no, I want the lights before I want.
you're gonna get the lights, my dear. We've already voted.
I know, but we gotta get them up before it's icy in the
We will
night.
vote the light, we'll order the lights this week.
All right.
Promise,
Did you
by
order
Friday.
that?
We'll order the lights.
I don't know what we're.
No.
I'm gonna send you the link.
Okay,
He doesn't like what I picked out. I said you can pick up
I'm
what you
concerned
want.
about the
That's fine,
integrity of it.
that's fine. So he's gonna pick it up.
I will send you the link for the lights by Friday. Remind me.
Daughter, I'm gonna call you
Fair?
Friday.
tell
No,
him.
did you give us the?
Promise.
All right. I mean, I don't think the clock's a bad idea. Do you know what the CPC has already, has there been a lot of submittals?
There is, to date, we only have one official submittal, but we anticipate a total of 6 without this. This would make it a 7th application, and they range from community housing to historical preservation. So
We would need a price within how many weeks?
I can put the application together. The pre-app needs to be in by the 24th of September. That's simple. The full application would be in by the 24th.
All right, so let's just pretend it's 30,000. So
Sure.
we would ask for up to 30,000. Okay. And just say that CPC says yes.
Mhm.
How long do we have to get this plot together?
With the funds become available July 1st, we can organize the work to be done any day after July 1st, 2024.
Okay, but say we drag our heels. What will the CPC say?
So the CPC will bring us back quarterly for update reports.
Every 3 months, 4 months. Okay.
On a short project like this, they would. That's our policy. to
I
do
guess
so.
I'm wondering who's gonna be, I think there is a market. So I don't really think it's something that I would be doing. So I don't.
No,
I
so-
don't want to say we'll do it when I have no intention of doing it.
If we were to apply for this money and get it, the town meeting, then I would coordinate with Paul Spoon to have the work done. He's the superintendent of the DPW.
No, I understand, but some.
He's also a town employee and he'd be happy to assist with that.
I would have to walk.
No, they take care of all that. It goes through a computer.
Oh,
It just comes out of the CPC account instead of
okay.
somebody else's. Yeah. So once it's done, we're just sponsoring an article.
Okay, all right. I mean,
I would think you'd want to have a company come in and give you some type of estimates.
So we did 4 years ago.
Right.
We would do it again before the final application was due in October. So I would coordinate
Right.
with Brand, Brute, Needy, and Procurement, give me 3 names of people who will give me prices on it.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, if
And that
y'all
would be
willing-
ready for the October.
If y'all willing to do that.
Yeah, I'm
I
okay
will
with that.
After you give Donna the stuff on the lights.
Yes.
Then I'm okay with it. Because like I said, I'm not gonna be doing that. I don't wanna say, well, Mark's gonna do it. But if you're
Understood.
volunteering to do it, I think the clock tower would be nice. They're gonna restore the rest of the
It
building.
would be nice.
And we're gonna do the lights.
Obviously, this is
nobody else
subject
is gonna-
to,
Nobody else is gonna ask for it.
this is subject to the CPC's recommendation
Correct.
and town meeting's approval.
Yeah.
But I feel like, it'd be nice if we started bringing some stuff forward.
And we as a board can do that.
We can absolutely.
Okay, doesn't have to be resident, it's,
No, we have membership at the Community Preservation Committee. So any member of the Community Preservation Committee can bring something forward.
Okay.
This is our focus, the downtown right now.
Yeah.
So I think us bringing this forward is a great,
Yeah, I agree.
no,
and it certainly makes sense from our perspective.
I mean, I would be much more inclined to, again, get those estimates and work with professionals where, they've done that type of work and they can make, give you a qualified,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, it could be 40 now, for all we know. I don't know.
absolutely, or it could be less, you don't
It could be
know.
less.
So, but that's what I'm looking at. I think with the CPC, and again, I don't want to get into it too much, I think we put that burden too much on the town resources. They already have their full-time job. So if we were able to outsource that and we have the funds, then, let them do what they need to do. And if they need assistance in the town, we can step up. But yeah, they can be a great way. Everyone's, kind of sticking their hand into that big pot of money and it's,
Well, it's a nice thing to do, and I think the residents as a whole will benefit from it. It'd be nice to see that up and running again. I will begin the process. At our next meeting in October, I'll have that application with those estimates prepared for us here to review, so we can serve.
All right, so should I make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like that.
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion that we allow Mark to price out, a clock, the clock tower at the train station. And then after doing that, bringing it to the Community Preservation Committee, to make its deadline for,
October 24th.
October 24th.
So, and I would ask that that would be subject to our approval. So I would put in a pre-application holding the spot.
Okay,
But if we come up with estimates and it's, oh, I need 200 grand to do it, then I want this committee as
okay.
a body to make that decision.
Alright.
Even though it's not our money, I think we have the right to make the decision.
So how do I make that?
So just add, subject to our October meetings.
So, yeah, thank you. Did you get that, Donna?
Okay,
Okay.
And I'll second that.
any discussion beyond? By roll call, Roberta?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Thank you. And I will also include the report that I will give to the CPC at our public meeting ahead of the public hearing. Item number 6, discussion 104 Page Street site plan. This is actually something going before the planning board tomorrow evening. It's primarily on our agenda tonight because the public and you all deserve an explanation as to how we got here. So we are the owners of 100 Page Street. However, there was a discrepancy at the assessor's office and we were not being notified of site plans, special permits, or any work being done on any of the abutting properties. This was a clerical error at the town side. That clerical error has, I'm told, been rectified, and we are now receiving the butters notifications. So that's a positive thing. I brought this up because, you know, I kind of made a stink about not being notified. I intend on attending tomorrow night. I don't have a negative opinion of the project, although in fairness, I don't have a whole lot of information besides what you were all sent in your meeting packet. So wanted to give you an opportunity to, if you had any questions that you wanted me to bring up tomorrow night, I'd be happy to. I did ask, I did not believe we would have a quorum tomorrow night, so I did not find an agenda. Even if we had a quorum in place, as long as we don't debate, we ask individual questions without crosstalk, we are safe, although it's touchy with open.
Yeah, I will not be in attendance,
No.
so.
And you and I had had that
Yeah.
discussion offline.
I don't
so
have
knew
an
that.
issue. I mean, it's a development, next door parcel. I don't have any problem with it, from what I can see, so.
Do you have anything you need me to bring, Bob, to planning, or are you planning?
No, this was the one that we went to the meeting and they dismissed it that night? No.
Yes. Yeah. It seems pretty straightforward. I have some technical questions for them. How is this gonna work? You know, how are these mobile units gonna be loaded and offloaded? Do we have appropriate room for that sort of thing? But,
I drove by there, I would say I go to BJ's every week, but,
it's a tight space.
It's a tight space, I just don't know. Yeah, that's their problem, not mine. So,
Right.
good luck to them. But yeah, no, I don't have anything to, add to that question.
God bless. So just so you know, I'll be there. I may have some questions for them, but I don't implicitly have a negative approach to this. It's, you know, as long as it can be done safely and without impeding traffic, all fine. So.
If you, don't mind, while we're on that, in my, still present in my head, can you just give us a quick update? When you went to the meeting, you went to the first meeting, I met you after that, but as far as the first meeting,
Conservation Commission.
yeah, what transpired?
So the Conservation Commission's meeting was actually a CPC item. And I'm happy to share it. It was, so we received the report on the McNamara Hurley Barn.
No. We went, there was two items on that, that we went to. You went to the 6 o'clock meeting. They took you out of, took you first and you were able to speak to it. And I think,
Benefits.
yeah, but it wasn't the McNamara Farm. It was, I think it was the site, the review site. That's,
Don't leave it with one.
I know.
So the night I went to Conservation
There
Commission,
was 2 meetings we went to. You went to the first one and I went.
and then you and I went upstairs.
Right, that first meeting you went to,
They called you up, they allowed you to speak first.
Oh, you're
Okay.
talking about the Board of Health.
Yes,
I apologize.
It's okay.
I've been to a number of meetings, yes. Gotcha now.
The only reason I'm asking him this is because I'm thinking to myself, I'm not gonna remember this in 5 or 10 minutes, but anyway, so could you just give us a quick?
I would, and I appreciate you reminding me because that's sort of a part of another process we're dealing with tonight. But long story short, the C&D facility has a site assignment, and it is a set of rules set by the DEP, the town of Stoughton, that govern how that site is monitored, how that site is run and operated, and what things happen with substances like that might be toxic, mercuries, micas, leads, things like that, how those are all handled. The Board of Health for the town of Stoughton technically writes the site assignment. So they're the holders of that document. The document was created in 1976, and the document is in an unknown location. Can't be found. We have an amended version of the document from the 90s, 97, I believe, was the last time it was altered. I appeared before the Board of Health with a simple question. Can we sit down with Win Waste, who is our tenant and the company or entity running the C&D facility? We sit down together and rewrite the site assignment. So what that does is gives our tenant, the authority, the Board of Health in town, one document to work from. The Board of Health unanimously approved this. I gave a brief presentation of it. So we're going to be taking something called the SWPPP, which is the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, and incorporating into the new site assignment any and all things that under our current conditions up there are relevant to this site. We need to take care of. These will include test pit, monitoring, and gas monitoring. So it's a good thing that we're doing this. It's going to take a few months. Briefly, the process will start with myself and Matt Hughes from Wind Waste, sort of putting the document together, redlining it, adding things as we need to, and then presenting that to the lawyers. The lawyers will review it, tell us what's good, bad, and indifferent. Once we have a document that everybody's comfortable with, we'll present that back to the town and then to the Board of Health for final signatures. Then we all have one copy, digital and paper. We all know what our responsibilities are. So that's the gist of that. It was a lengthy conversation at the Board of Health. However, it was a very positive conversation. So thank you for reminding.
I attended the meeting. The Board of Health meeting.
Oh, okay.
Were you online?
So that's
Great.
Okay.
I thought it was a very positive thing. They were excited. It did get into the recycling side. But, so that's where that, ended up. And that was all part of that major modification. I talked about it. It's just a second piece of it. So thank you for bringing that up. We can move on to the item 8, which is public announcement, request for proposals to purchase property discussion. Do you want to take a run at this, or do you want me to give an
Oh,
outline?
because nobody really knows what we did.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, no, I think we need to give the public an
Yeah.
understanding.
So the redevelopment authority decided we would like to purchase a piece of property in the downtown area to, in a sense, redevelop something that the town has, or not the town has, somebody in the town owns. And so we put out a request for proposal. That's been out. Deadline is September 29th. For anybody who has a piece of property in the downtown area, give or take, we would spend up to $320,000. Redevelopment would be paying cash. You don't need to borrow the money. And our goal would be to, fix the place to contain our office and possibly have a cooperative collaboration, to get small, I'm gonna refer to it as like a, farmer's market without the farm. Store for maybe up to 20 vendors or whatever we can fit, small startup, whether you sell honey, jewelry, work it together, small rent, a way to get people to come to a location. And you go there and you do a little shopping, and then maybe you'll say, let's stop at this place for lunch or this place for lunch. Something to bring people into the town. And hopefully that will work out. If we don't, we have space that we can rent out to other people. It's a thought. We don't have a property right now. We're going through the process. And, you know, we're kind of seeing if, we have to put something out there to see if we can get it. We have to knock on doors because no one's going to come to us. So this is a way for us to try to do something to help revitalize, redevelop a piece of property in town, in the center. I guess that's it.
Yeah, and I think when we talked about this, because we had some concerns, we'd identified a piece of property. We decided to put that request for proposal out because A, we're required by law to do so, to follow the procurement process, which we did. But I see this as an opportunity for small businesses to provide them an incubator. I mean, we talk a lot about the redevelopment of this downtown. The town itself has a lot of great ideas about how they would like to see this revitalized. A big part of the zoning change was creating maker spaces, areas where small businesses could rent. There's a cost involved in doing that. And we as an authority felt we control redevelopment here. Why don't we create an incubator? So this gives a space for a business to start in. It can learn. We're looking to provide a little education through some members of our community who are in this field. They can help small businesses understand. We hope to get the banks involved so that they can help educate these people as to the financial side of opening a business. The whole premise behind this is to start feeding these new businesses that will be opening up here in our center as those spaces become available. The RFP, the request for proposal, Roberta, closes on
29th,
the 29th of September.
Friday, yeah. And then we will
And then
open
we're
up
opening those bids publicly,
on Monday,
public,
here, Monday, I believe it's 6 or 5 o'clock.
6 p.m. So we will schedule a meeting, Donna, to open the bids. That'll be a very brief meeting.
I think it's October 2nd.
It is October
Okay.
2nd, yes. Yep. I know it is, because the 4th is a Wednesday, so.
So we've complied with the 30 days, we've complied with everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the central register, it's gonna be in the Patriot Ledger, to the town crier a couple of times, so we're getting it for a week.
You have the documents on our website yet?
It is on the town website.
Yeah. Perfect.
And as Roberta said, she put it in the town crier.
Yeah, twice, yeah.
Thank you, Roberta, for that.
So if you're interested, if you have a piece of property, you contact the SRA, and Donna has the actual,
Yes.
application.
Our address
Yeah.
is 7 Pearl Street, for those of you who may not know. We can be reached by phone at 781-341-1300.
Well, that's the town hall number.
Yep, extension 9299. And you can always email us at srasec@stoughton-ma.gov.
Good.
Bobby, anything you want to add to that? Okay. If there's no further questions, we're going to move on to item 9. So we're hopeful that some of the businesses will come to us and offer this to us. Review of cleaning company contract. It's been approximately a year, just over, since we've had this cleaning company. I think it is in the interest of public funds to re-advertise this and see what comes back to us. Wanted to get your opinions.
Yeah, because I don't recall ever putting it out to anybody. I still don't think we need to.
We did put it out.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't
We
recall.
were in the other office at the time.
Okay.
But we did.
Yeah, I interviewed approximately 10 different people.
Okay. I guess this bonding thing and doing it monthly, I guess I look at it this way. I'm gonna say, I'm disappointed that the CPC has met here twice, again, since we talked about it.
I thought we were clear about this as being a member of the
I
CPC
understand.
and having representation at the CPC. I was quite clear when we had this argument back 5-6 months ago.
Right.
We've had difficulty getting space in the town hall. We will not be holding a public hearing here in October because we were able to get space. Until this point in time, we have not been able to get space.
I mean,
Again, we
I'm
have
not gonna-
membership with the CPC.
I understand that, but if what you're saying is true,
It is.
we were notified the rules committee was gonna meet that,
Yes, you were.
but we were never notified, oh, and by the way, I'm having a CPC meeting.
You are correct. I didn't notify you of the
And I
CPC
saw it
meetings.
last night, and then I look back and I see I guess I look at it this way. This is the redevelopment authority's office.
Mhm.
Redevelopment.
Mhm.
The planning also has somebody from the CPC, the zoning
Yes, they
does, the
do.
rec. It's not just the redevelopment authority. So there are people coming into this office that are, like I said, you get to use the bathroom, they get for 2 hours. You know, I'm just saying, we're using it, we're heating it, we're air conditioning it, and on us, and we're paying to have it cleaned. And I don't know, I just don't understand why.
So we're getting a little bit outside.
I understand I'm getting
what we're
out of it.
discussing, but
I am.
again,
But it
if you
feeds into-
recall the discussion on this, when this came up the last time with you, I said, until we can accurately get space in town hall, we will continue to use this space.
I don't recall you saying.
Donna does not come in
Okay.
here to do that. I come in because I'm a member of the CPC. When the rules committee met here, we don't have membership.
Oh,
on the rules
I
committee.
understand that.
So I contacted both you and
Yep.
Bob and Andrew. And I asked if you had a problem with it
Right.
before I committed to it.
Correct.
And then I showed up and did it. So I didn't require Donna to do it. When we had a policy that we never voted on this, that Reggie created, that policy said, if there is a member that is a part of a committee, they have access to this by that member's discretion. Again,
But you're saying.
we've been able to get space for a public hearing at the town hall, but the CPC has not been able to get space at the town hall due to the construction that's been going on over there. We have a space here and I'm a member. I don't have an issue with that.
I do. I do have.
Then you should have objected to it when
I
the
don't-
policy was
I would
written
like to
before
know when
we
we
took it
voted
any
on,
further.
I would like to know when we voted on the policy.
We didn't vote on the
Oh,
policy.
okay.
We reviewed the policy, but we never voted on it.
All right, so then.
But we had the discussion then, and you were made aware then that I was gonna continue to have meetings here until we get access
So
to
then
town
why,
hall.
so then why didn't we vote on
I don't know. Nobody ever made a motion to
it?
vote on it.
Maybe when it came for a vote, I wouldn't have voted for it. Because I
Maybe.
wouldn't have. But
But it's irrelevant, and again, we're off topic
I
here.
understand we're getting off
So
topic.
if you wanna talk about this, I'm happy to put it on the agenda for our October meeting. But we're
It
actually a
appears
little bit
that-
outside our
I
scope at
understand,
this
but it
point.
appears that I'm not gonna win because it's not getting me anything. Because you're saying one thing and I'm saying another.
Would you like it on the agenda for October?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Donna, please
No,
make it
because
so.
I probably won't be here, depending on how the meeting falls.
So don't put it on our October agenda. If you'd like to bring this up at a later date, you let me know.
I will be here on the 11th.
October,
I will be here on, I will be here on the
am I
11th.
correct?
Yeah, I will
The
be here,
11th, right? Okay, yeah.
but I will be here, Donna.
You will not, or
I
you will?
will be here on the 11th.
So do you want it on the
Yes,
agenda or
yes,
not?
Yes.
Okay. In the future, this is something we would bring up in unanticipated matters, or things that weren't on our agenda. This came up due to item 9, which is a review of the cleaning company contract, which we are gonna put back out to bid. We'll get our 3 bids and we'll make a decision at our October meeting. Until such a time, Get It Clean
Yes.
is gonna continue their work. That's a good contract. That will be on October. We can have a greater discussion about that if you'd like. Executive session minutes to be approved but not released. I have 3. Do you want to take them separately? Or do you have a problem taking them as a whole?
And then yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the executive session minutes of July 12, 2023, August 9, 2023, and August 14, 2023.
Second.
And these are not to be released yet because some of the matters in them are still relevant to our executive sessions. Any discussion? Hearing none, by roll call, Roberta?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. I will sign those during that meeting. Item 11 is to enter into executive session to consider the possible acquisition of property for purchase, lease, exchange, or value of real property. If the chairman decides in an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body, which I do, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A6. And this is in regards to the lease for 100 Page Street. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So maybe.
Second.
We will be adjourning from executive session. So any discussion on this? Hearing none. Roberta?
Oh, no discussion.
Roberta, would you like to enter into executive
Yes,
session?
yes.
Thank you. Bob?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. I want to thank the public for watching tonight. We will see you in October. Our next meeting is October 11th. Thank you so much.
No, our next meeting is,
October 11th.
we're opening the bids.
Well, our next regularly scheduled.
Okay.
You can shut off the.
All right, so what do you have to do now? We have to, who's going in?
Hang on.